Hey guys, Kat's clean out continues. This time I'm cleaning out my pile of stuff from my Disney scrapbook. Now, I don't scrapbook. I want to scrapbook. I have a lot of pictures that need to be put in scrapbooks, but so far they're still in Rubbermaid containers in my closet. I need help. So I have a cry cut machine. I have a lot of supplies, and I keep meaning to get started. But anyway, I collected a bunch of stuff that I want to turn into a Disney scrapbook. And so I thought that I would go through them with you and you guys could see stuff and maybe get some ideas for scrapbooking in the comments. That'd be awesome. I want to do, like I did those books for my fam trips, I want to do an actual scrapbook for my Disney cruise. So first thing is, hello Kat, shout out to my roommate, Carmi Docton. Hi Cassidy, because she made friends, ooh, the pen came out. She made friends with one of the staff members and he gave her 2 books for Disney Cruise Lines. This is gonna make a really nice bullet journal when I run out of the room in the one I'm using now. So shout out, thank you Carmi for my next bullet journal, Disney Cruise Line. I wanted to say thank you for that. Second thing is we started our cruise in San Diego, California. Now I've lived in California up in the Monterey area for about 6 or 8 months, so not very long, and it was a long time ago. So I've been to California in a long time and I've never been to San Diego, so we went a couple days early and we had a blast. So I've got some souvenirs from our trolley rides and our hotel visit and all that from San Diego, so I figured that'd be like 1 page. Then, this is what Disney calls the key to the world card. I'm trying to figure out where you can see it without the light killing it. Yeah, it's just a regular cruise card. I was kind of disappointed because Disney Magic Kingdom and the Disney World have the little magic bands, and so I was kind of thinking the cruise would have something cool like that, but they don't. They just have your key to the world card, as they call it, which is still a nice souvenir. This is my folder where I kept all my paperwork, which you don't need much paperwork with Disney. It's really cool. Wonder if it's in here somewhere. They send you, I think it's in my files already, they send you a little book that is a spiral bound book. I'm gonna look for it because I really wanna show it to you guys. It's a spiral bound book that they send you before you get on the cruise, and it really has everything in it. There it is, see? It even has your luggage tags in it. Remember how you have to print out your luggage tags with other cruise lines and figure out how to get them attached? This one, it's already ready. It's got your vacation checklist. It's got everything you need in this one little booklet. It's really neat. I'm trying to find the end of it so I can show you the outside. Yeah, it comes in the mail. And I'm guessing at some point, like the Disney bands, whatever they do at the cruises will come in here too. And they're, the Castaway Club is their frequent cruiser thing. So when you cruise with them, you become a member of their Castaway Club. So that was part of it. Now, one of the reasons that got me interested in the idea of doing a Disney scrapbook is that 2 days, the activities they do, or 2 of the activities they offer on the ship, actually I think there were 4 different times, when you could do a scrapbook page on the ship as an activity, and they provided all the stuff. And I thought, free stuff? I'm all about free stuff. So don't laugh, okay? I actually got some construction paper. Now I know, why would you take construction? I think the idea of the class was for you to sit right there and put together a scrapbook page so that it's finished and you could take it home, put it in a scrapbook or whatever. Yeah, but I wasn't ready to do my page yet. I wanted pictures on my page and I wanted to print out my photos. So I just took some supplies to bring home with me to do them later. And I don't have little kids in the house anymore, so we don't have construction. I mean, I remember I used to have this all over the house for the kids, for crafts, but I don't have any more. So I brought some construction paper. I brought one of these. Trivia contests are all through the itinerary. There is Mickey Mouse trivia, there's movie trivia, there's sitcom trivia, I'd have to go through the itinerary to tell you the multiple types of trivia. And it just so happened that 2 of the women that were sitting at our table every night at dinner were like trivia goddesses. They won so many trivia contests at the beginning of the cruise that they stopped going. They said because it started getting where the other people were offended or upset or, you know, whatever. I don't think anybody ever came out and said something like, don't you think you've won enough? But they got that feeling, and so they stopped going. But I actually won one because I played with them. But they did a lot of trivia, and it was a lot of different kinds. Like they would play 4 notes to a song, a sitcom song. And then another one, they would do a live video clip, like 30 seconds long. Where'd that come from? So it was a lot of different, it wasn't just Disney knowledge, it was interesting. And they also did the Star Wars, which I think you guys know about. I saved this because this was the Anna's Chocolate Challenge hunt. And this was left in your cabin, and it was a scavenger hunt to find all these different places on the cruise ship. And if you figured out where they were and what the symbol they had hidden there was, you got a special, and I think I put it away too, a little chocolate bar from Anna on your pillow. So you had all day to collect all these, and it was clues like, you can sit in the dark any time of day, and on the screen, moving pictures will play. Well, it was one of the theaters on the park, on the ship. And then when you got to the Walt Disney Theater, they had this big magnetic sign that was something from the movie Frozen. And this one was a shield with a flower on it. So that was kind of fun. That's the kind of thing that they did every day for families. Now, I'm a big kid, so of course I did this. It was a competition, number one. I'm very competitive. And number two, there was chocolate involved, and I do love my chocolate. And number three, I try to enjoy everything so I can tell you guys about it. So this is kind of a cute activity, a sample of the kinds of stuff they did. They didn't push their future cruises much. I got one of their new booklets for the next season. I already had one, but I picked this up. But they were pretty pushy about their Disney Vacation Club, which I thought was interesting. They didn't make me feel like you should buy this, but they had several events for the Disney Vacation Club members. They had several presentations where you could learn about the Disney Vacation Club. And the Disney Vacation Club members, they didn't have Key to the World cards. They had magic bands, and they had other little special things. So it definitely made you feel like that was an elite group that you might want to think about belonging with. So that was an interesting ploy. I brought you one of our cards from our room. I thought it'd make a good scrapbook thing, right? This kind of real stuff. Then you could also order your breakfast on that and leave it outside your door. Disney is known for their door knocker club. Now, if you've never been on a Disney cruise, outside the Disney cabins, they have a big metal fish, like a brass fish, and it's almost like a big clip, but it's big and heavy, and you can put things on it or in it to give to the people on the cruise. So we would come back, and like if we had ordered an expedition, our tickets would be in the fish's mouth. When we got on board, our Key to the World cards were up there in the fish. And people through the years have created all kinds of organizations for door knock gifts. And so people, you'll walk through a Disney ship and you'll see these elaborate bags that hang on the fish, and they have different pockets for each person in the family. And then you join a Facebook group if you want to participate in the door knocker gifts, or they may call them something else. Anyway, if you want to, because I was intimidated. I'm like, I am not buying, what, there's like 800 cabins? No, or 400 cabins. I'm not buying 400 gifts. Turns out it's not like that. You sign up if you want to, and I think they divide them in groups of like 20 people. So you're buying gifts for 20 other people, and then you get gifts in yours. So it's like a gift exchange. We saw a lot of cute gifts put out in the door knocker thing. We did not participate. Next time I probably will, now that I know it's a little more manageable. But we got dusted. And I don't think the light is going to let you read this. I'm just going to change that. There you go. You have been pixie dusted by the O'Dar family in cabin 6050. Isn't that cute? And it had some little gifts on the pirate theme, because it was the pirate night that they did this. And I think this is really neat because it was for people that weren't participating. And there was little confetti, and there was a little pirate tattoo, and a little patch, an eye patch, and cute little stuff. It was neat. So that's another tradition they do on the Disney cruises. This was new to me, or not completely new, but it happened a lot. We were in California, and I'm from the East Coast. So we'd already adjusted our clocks 3 hours. So then like 3 out of the 7 nights that our 6 nights we were on the ship, we had to move our clocks backward or forward. It got very confusing. And those of you who know me know that I'm time zone challenged anyway. So getting up in the morning and wondering, because my phone usually is my guide, because I have my phone set to automatically update to whatever time zone I'm in. And I rely on that. Problem is that my phone was not constantly connected to the internet, because you pay for the internet by the gigabyte or megabyte. So I couldn't leave it connected all the time. So I was always trying to figure out what time it was. And most of the time, the steward comes in your room the night before and sets your clock for you so that you're ready for the next day. But one night, our guy did it backwards. So it was a nightmare. I didn't miss anything. Our friends from dinner missed like every activity the next day, first part of the day, because they had the wrong time. But I didn't miss anything, but it was really a zoo. And they would put these in your cabinet and remind you, and the steward would change your alarm clock, but it was still crazy. Hey, Alliston. I absconded with, borrowed, took some Disney stationery, which I thought would be fun to put in my scrapbook. I kept the little handouts they put in your room every night about where you're going the next day, although these I found pretty much useless. They were basically where to go for shopping, and they're recommended places to go for shops. So that was kind of, yeah, not informational. But this was their Connected See program, their internet program. It was interesting, and one tip I'm glad I learned was that if you log on the first day and sign up with their Connected See, you get 50 megabytes of data for free, so definitely do that. If you don't use social media very much, that 50 megabytes might last you if you just log on and check your Facebook once or twice on the cruise. It did not for me. So I went and talked to the Connected See gentleman and told him that I'm a heavy duty user, that I like to do Facebook Lives and that kind of stuff. And he recommended the Grande package for me. So I did that. Yes, you do need to do a Disney cruise. They will spoil you though. I will tell you, if you do that one first, you're in trouble. This is the welcome aboard little handout and more stuff for my scrapbook. More trivia. I told you. I took notes. Oh, yeah. They had, evidently, D23 is the Disney fan club. I need to join the free version of that. But we went to an update, like a presentation. And we got to see a lot of the new stuff that's coming out. So that was neat. And I was told that Disney Cruise Line does this in conjunction with the fan club. And they update it every 2 weeks. So no matter when you go on a Disney cruise, hey, Patrick, you get to see the new stuff that's coming out. So we found out when the Star Wars things are opening for tickets. We got to see Shanghai Disney's new Zootopia. Lion King Live is coming out. That was fun. Frozen 2. Yes, Frozen 2 is coming out in November. And Maleficent is coming out, Angelina Jolie's one, on October 18th. That was a fun thing to go to. If you like Disney and you're on the cruise, definitely go to that presentation. It's the D23 presentation. More maps. We did a lot of walking in Mexico because I was doing cruising on the cheap, or at least I was trying to show you guys that you don't have to spend a lot of extra money on these cruises. Oh, this was fun. One of the things they did, don't laugh at my drawing. They taught you how the animators draw the various characters. Now, obviously, you can't become an animator or an artist, which I am not an artist. Hi, Robert, at the, on one hour lesson on a Disney cruise ship. But it was very interesting because they actually take you step by step through drawing a Mickey Mouse. And I thought mine came out not totally scary, which was the goal. But you actually learn how to draw. And I brought this home and took pictures of all the steps for my grandchildren because my granddaughter is an artist and my grandson. So I was going to show them how to make, yeah, Robert, it was fun, how to draw. And it's just basic paper where you start with a circle and they show you all the steps of how to do this and the other. And I think my Donald came out, like I said, not totally scary. So I was proud of myself. I also made a door knocker. Yes, I told you, I try everything for you people. You need to appreciate the travel agent life and the sacrifices I make. But Disney does a lot of arts and crafts, drawing, that kind of stuff. Only slightly scary. Exactly, Robert. That was my goal. If you don't look at it and go, oh, that's a little, then I think I did a good job. I'll let my granddaughter and grandson do the better job. But I brought these back and did these activities so I could show you guys it really is a very, very family-friendly cruise. Other cruise lines do this too. Disney does it to the max, and there are more opportunities. Drawing, Animator's Palace, crafts, there were a lot. I did not go to all the crafts, you guys. That's my cat. She's determined to get in the picture. Say hello to Kaleidoscope. I got to lean this way. Hello, Callie. We call her Callie for short. Her name is Kaleidoscope. So Anyway, the arts and crafts, they had Princess Arts and Crafts, Star Wars Arts and Crafts. They had all kinds of arts and crafts. Then one night on the pirate night, I met this guy dressed totally in pirate costume. He looked so good. I mean, as a pirate, he did the Jack Sparrow thing, and he did really well. And he had this official name tag on, you know, had the Disney Cruise Line thing, and it had his name. And so I was convinced this guy was somebody, right? Because I'd never seen him, and you sit in the same spot every night in a different restaurant, but with the same people. And I'd never seen this guy. And his wife was she was dressed very, very elegantly with beautiful jewelry, well, you know, all that. And I thought, this guy is somebody, you know, he's like the cruise director or something, and, you know, hiding in plain sight. So I went over to get my picture taken with him, and it was so funny because instead of me saying, I know you're somebody, I just said, can I get a picture with you in your costume? Because it was awesome. And he goes, you're somebody, aren't you? I know you're somebody. You're like some movie star or something. And it was hilarious because that's what I was thinking about him. Anyway, he is a Disney cast member. He does work in the Disney Fire Department. And so he gave me his Disney Fire Department sticker. So he was somebody. We're all somebody, but you know what I mean? Somebody I should recognize. Anyways, very nice guy. His wife was wonderful about me borrowing his time. I also met John Armstrong. And if you've ever met John Armstrong, this is his signature. You'll get it if you've ever heard him. Hi, April. This is John Armstrong, AKA Tiny Plunger. Look for that hashtag, Tiny Plunger, and you'll see his magic tricks, and he's really quite funny. The magic guy was really good. He performed like 2 or 3 different shows, a family show and an adult-only show. Now, of course, it's Disney, so it's not going to be risque or anything, but it was more adult-oriented. But both of his shows were quite interesting and different from each other, really good. But the Tiny Plunger is one of his gimmicks that you'll understand. And they had a hypnotist, and so the entertainment is really top level, very good. I also found this cool place called Seashell City. I'll show you some more about that. Went to several churches. There was a mass going on in one of them, which I've never actually been to a full Catholic mass, so that was interesting to me. And as I usually do, I take pictures of me in the place because I know I can't take pictures as good as the professionals do. So I buy the postcards to get the real professional photos. Hi, Doug. And then I just take selfies and stuff to show I was there. This is another guy that was on there, the Heath Show. Very funny. Heath Hike, I think, but he just goes by the Heath Show. And of course, he had his autographs ready to go. He was a good entertainer, very fun. Okay, so we got off the boat in Cabo San Lucas, and when you go to the railing to see where where you've berthed the ship, where you are, the first thing you see is this huge shopping mall that is Walmart and Sam's Club. And you guys know my sense of humor. I was laughing. I was like, we're in this Mexican Riviera fancy place, and the first thing we see is Walmart. So of course, where did Carmi and I have to go? We had to go to Walmart. So I have a video and a bunch of pictures to put together for you later. Carmi and Kat's trip to Walmart. Yeah, so I just thought that was really funny. Sponsored by Walmart. And I did. I went shopping at Walmart in Mexico. That was fun. Cabo Wabo, Cabo San Mexico. Oh yeah, so I really liked the Holland America ships because they were big on the cuisine, and we got to tour the kitchen, which I've never been able to tour the kitchens. And I thought that was really cool. I wish more ships would let you do that because it's fascinating to get behind the scenes and how they cook so many meals for so many people in the ship. But Disney, and then also Holland has that partnership with America's Test Kitchen, I think it is, where they have cooking shows. Well, Disney has cooking lessons too. And we had a blast learning how to make apple strudel with vanilla sauce. And of course we got to taste it, and the chef came out and prepared it. That was fun. Okay, more trivia. Just for an example, the answers were The Addams Family, Bewitched, Miami Vice, Gilligan's Island, The Simpsons, etc. So you see, it really is not just Disney stuff. Mazatlan. Oh yes, and I bought my husband this wonderful ceramic grater. He's so excited about it. And when we were walking around in Cabo, Carmi and I found a real estate place, and we thought, this is great. So we went in and met the 2 realtors there who are both Americans living in Cabo, and they got a lot of information. I got on their mailing list about Americans retiring down there and buying a home. And that was very interesting to me about the expat community. She said there's actually a lot more Canadians than Americans, but there are Americans. And we got to talk to several people about the safety, because before we left, the State Department, 2 of the places we stopped had them as level 4, which in State Department terms means do not travel. Hey, Bob, especially they're talking to their government employees, do not travel here. And they're recommending not traveling. And then the other one was a level 3. I don't remember which was which, but one was a level 3, which is if you can change your plans, change them. And government personnel have these restrictions on their travel. They can't use this road, or they can't go to these places, that kind of thing. The other 2 were level 4. So we talked to the realtors a lot about the safety, and they've lived there, most of them, for between 5 and 10 years. And unanimously what they said to me was, don't do drugs. Don't poke your nose where it doesn't belong. Stay off the streets in the middle of the night, and you're fine. So that's the unofficial version of Are You Safe in Mexico? I also had to pick up this news. I haven't finished reading it yet. Can you see that? The Gringo Gazette. I just thought that was so funny. We picked this up in Walmart. Okay, so this is actually a magazine or newspaper, one of those little shopper papers like you get in America, put together for the expat community. It's in English, so it's for Americans and Canadians and that kind of stuff. Hey, Brenda. So the name of it, guys. I probably will end up just taking a picture. I may just cut that out for the scrapbook. Y'all scrapbooking people tell me if that is a bad idea, but I had to have that. Now, here's the scrapbooking stuff that came. Look, stickers. All kinds of Disney stickers. I was not greedy. I took 2 of each. Well, maybe 3 of the princesses, if you have to know the truth. Don't judge me. But they had these out there, and they ran out. The first one I went to, they had all of these, and I was very nice. I took 1 or 2 of each different kind they had. The second one I went to, I thought, I'd get some more, and they didn't have any. Or actually, the people in front of me took them all. So yeah, those kind of people are everywhere. They also had the backing paper, which I was really excited about. And again, I took 2 of each, but I thought this would be very helpful. Scrapbook people, am I right? Did I do a good thing? I picked out the backing paper for my scrapbook. Now, the other thing I want to show you is, they also had sequins. So I brought a few sequins out. When I went to all the shows they had, the first show, you don't realize it's going to happen, so it gets really freaky. At the end of the show, near the end of the show, at a crescendo moment, the sky opens up in front of the first section of seats, and this stuff comes fluttering down. Now, it's just tissue paper, okay? And the first night it was cut in these, I forget what it was supposed to be, but it was supposed to represent something. And then on the night of the Frozen, they did these, and they were supposed to be snowflakes. Guys, they're just round tissue paper. They're not anything special. But here I am running around collecting some after the show, of course, on my hands and knees, because I want it for my scrapbook, right? Hi, Stacy. So then I got one of my favorite pictures of the cruise, because Disney at the parks and on the cruise has what they call the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, where you can take your little ones and have them dressed up and their hair and makeup done like a princess or like Prince Charming. And so as I'm getting ready to leave after Frozen, when the snowflakes fell and the show's over and almost everybody's out, I'm hanging back, just enjoying the show. The end of it, I'm cut out in the aisle and I'm heading up, and it's a big fancy theater, and there's these golden steps that go up, and there's 3 little girls in adorable princess costumes grabbing the snowflakes. And I snapped a picture of them just from the back. I'm not gonna be able to see their faces or anything, but it's these 3 little girls and how important those little paper things were to them, and how it must have felt to them to see their Disney characters come to life. It's a great picture. One more thing I'll show you, and then I'll let you go. This is a golden Mickey. If you've never been on a Disney cruise, it doesn't mean anything. But one of the shows they put on the Disney cruise is called the Golden Mickeys. And basically it's an award show like the what do they do? The television award show, the Broadway awards, and they have the red carpet and all the people dressed in there to their nines, and the cameras flashing, and the red carpet, and the stars come in and they pose on the red carpet, and then they have this award show. They did this so well. Hey, Lauren, they made it out in front of the theater. They had the red carpet with the backdrop of the Walt Disney, the golden Mickeys, and golden statues of Mickey Mouse to give away. And they had this big fancy camera, like a television camera. And they had this fancy lady all made up, and one of the actresses, one of the performers, with her mic, and she was interviewing. To top it off, to make it even more realistic, they had the paparazzi. So 3 of the cast members were dressed up as photographers. And then they had 3 other of the cast members, as they call them, dressed up in like a fancy, like a hotel concierge would be dressed with the little hats and the buttons and everything. And they were shooing the paparazzi out of the way, leave them alone, leave them alone. It was really, as Disney is, a complete experience. So at the Golden Mickeys, one of the things they drop down from the ceiling is these little Golden Mickeys. So of course, like the other little tissue things, I had collected a little stack of them. Well, when I was putting my stuff together the next to the last night of the cruise, I realized they were gone. And all I can think of was that I had left them laying out somewhere, and when the steward had cleaned up the cabin, he thought they were trash and threw them away. Because they're just little papers, right? So the next night we went to see Frozen, and they dropped the little things off the thing for the Frozen, for the snowflakes. And as I'm walking, of course I stayed behind and picked them up, and as I'm walking out, I'm one of the last ones to come out, and there is the cruise director standing there shaking everybody's hand saying, how can I help you? How did you like the show? Do you have any critiques for us? And just my quiet demeanor. She shook my hand and I said, you know what would make my dreams come true? Because the whole thing was about dreams coming true. She said, what? And I said, Golden Mickeys. And I told her how I was saving them for my scrapbook, and that the room steward had thrown them away because he thought they were trash, and how I just needed a few of them for my scrapbook. She said, wait a minute. She went upstairs, she made a call on her phone. We waited about 10 minutes, and here comes one of the guys with an entire package. I think there must be 1,000 Golden Mickeys in here. So I don't know what I'm going to do with 1,000 of them. Maybe I'll give them away as a gift prize or something. Some will be in my scrapbook, but Disney does, down to the last detail. Hey, Tom, they do it well. They tell a story. They make you feel like you're part of that story. It was an amazing experience, and I hope all of you get to participate at one time or another. And if you don't think it's ever going to be in your budget, then talk to me, because maybe we can make something happen. Okay? All right. Bye. Have a great Sunday, and I love Mondays. It's a fresh start to a new week. So TGIM, thank goodness it's Monday soon.